What's up, everybody? Freak Nick here, back in Atlanta. Left Vancouver behind me. Enough winter sports, back to the hardwood. And that song, if you're not familiar with it, the Star Spangled Banner, the beautiful anthem of the beautiful nation that I call home, United States of America. And this will be the last Ustream, the last Euroleague Adventures TV episode, if you will, being broadcast to you from America. Why? Because yesterday I booked me a one-way ticket to Spain, to Madrid. That's my jump-off point. Slam's already over there doing his thing. Then after that, I'll be jetting off wherever. If y'all have a couch to sleep on, let me know. Please, please, please. So it's official. I'm going to be in Europe in about a week, taking in the action live. Finally. It's been far too long, and I cannot wait, and it couldn't be coming at a better time. You know how much I love the top 16, but the playoffs are just as exciting. Teams get familiar with each other, you really start seeing who has the strategy, who has the coaching. It's where the big guns come out to play. Every game is big. So I'll be there, It's a big game. Check for me on the sidelines. And we had a busy week this week, and it did a lot to help us see who is actually going to advance. As we know it right now, we have 6 of the 8 teams that will advance to the playoffs. Barcelona, Moscow, Procom, Olympiacos, Maccabi, Electra, all stamped their tickets this week. And let me tell y'all how they went about doing that. For starters, yesterday, Wednesday, Unicaja lost to CSKA Moscow 70-76. It started out as an absolute rout, 24-10 after the first quarter. Unicaja on the downside of that, of course. The next quarter, Unicaja, what did they do to top their 10-point output? Only 8 points. But CSKA only scored 9. Stayed a little close. Then in the fourth, Unicaja scored 30. Strangely enough, CSKA got 27. But Unicaja is a hot mess. They started off looking like a really hot team at the beginning of the year, won their first 5-6 games, and then just kind of tanked. Made some poor decisions. Their American guard stable has been inconsistent all year. They've had Taekwon, they've had Pooh. Omar Cook is still there. Shammond Williams is gone. Juan Dixon is at the Maryland Duke game last night, so he wasn't scoring much for Unicaja. Kriapa, big day for him, for CSKA. He played 38 minutes in this one. For some reason, I'm not going to complain. Had him on my fantasy team, so keep him in there. Evgeny. He had 11 points. He had 8 rebounds. And 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 6 of those in the first quarter. So that game, we spent plenty of time on that. I think we all knew the result before it even started. CSKA's on to the next round. Marusi lost to Barcelona. They scored 58. Last week they scored 57. That was enough to win 2 weeks ago. But this week, 58, not going to get it done against Barcelona, who scored the reverse. 58, flip it up. 85 is what Barcelona dropped on the road. Nonetheless, big days from Terrence Morris. 12 points, 13 for Juan Carlos, 10 for Yaka, 14 for Arizem. Again, like I mentioned in my preview and slam this week, very reserved dominance. They don't need one guy really to step up and do it all, but they have those guys if they need to. Boni Undong is still leading the team in scoring right now, and they're the number 2 offensive team in the EuroLeague. So put that together. That's a recipe for a championship. If some of these big guys start stepping up late, Pete Michael's been quiet. Juan Carlos Navarro hardly even broken a sweat this year. So when they get chugging along in the playoffs and into the Final Four, which I'm positive they will be in, it's going to be scary. And it's going to be fun scary, good scary, unless you're on the other bench. May God be with you. So moving on now, Zalgiris drops 93 at home. I was happy to see that. I picked Aseko. I like how Aseko's been playing recently. But Zalgiris, if they win, happy for them. They're a fun bunch to watch. Got a lot of spunk is the word that always comes in the old noggin when I think about Zalgiris. Marcus Brown, huge game. 23 points for him. Then 5 others in double figures. My boy Marty Potsis dropping 10 in 16 minutes. That's efficiency at its best right there. On a day where Duke fell to Maryland, at least one Blue Devil prevailed. On the other end, Daniel Ewing, his team lost despite a decent performance from him. You look at this box score and you think, Aseko had enough to get the win. 22 from David Logan, 13 from Rockgo, 17 from Quintel Woods, 10 from Ronnie Burrell, and 11 from Daniel Ewing. Yagla chipped in 8. Adam Tirchanuk, also 7 for him. So a lot of balance, but Zalgiris was just firing on all cylinders. And they only turned the ball over 6 times. So that's how you get wins. Sabona, Who do they play? They play BC Khimki, and they just ran train on Khimki, is to put it lightly. Khimki really been disappointing me the last couple weeks. They had it tailor made for them to move on to the next round, especially after Splitter got hurt for Kaha not once but twice. They lose at home to Kaha last week. Embarrassing in my mind. And if I were a Kaha fan, I'd be pretty pissed. And as if that weren't enough, they lose to the 0-4 Sabona, who granted are much better than their 0-4 record would imply. Huge game from Jamont Gordon again, 23. Bojan Bogdanovic, if he'd been their number 3 really, really solid guy all year, he's been solid. But if he had stepped up to the level he played yesterday all season, Sabona might have been making some noise because I like them more and more each time out. Marco Tomas and Jamont Gordon, the highest scoring duo in the top 16 so far. So look out for them next year. This year, ain't happening. Too little, too late. Two close games with Olympiacos really did them in, but Olympiacos did just fine. They scored 102. We had 9 teams yesterday score more than 82 points, which is pretty good. I like the direction that's going. More excitement, a little bit more scoring. Maybe the purists don't like it, but pure scoring is pretty exciting to me. So they beat Caja Laboral to keep Khimki in the running, 102-85. Childress led Olympiacos with 20. Sofo had 19 points in 18 minutes. That's about his limit anyways. Plays about 20. If you can squeeze a good performance out of him, almost impossible to beat. Pat Beverly got a little bit more time in there, 9 minutes and 28 seconds. So finally, maybe Coach Yanakis is listening to me because Scooney Penn, 17 minutes, no points, no assists, 2 steals, -2 ranking. Not doing it. Partizan, they lose to Panathinaikos. Nikola Pekovic was Panathinaikos, much less. Not much to say about this game. Panathinaikos didn't have anything to play for. Partizan still looks like they might advance. Really would have liked to have this win at home, but what can you do? It's not like Panathinaikos is a crap team just because they're a record. They still have the firepower, and we all know that. Efes Pilsen goes down in the closest game of the week, 75-77 to Real Madrid, the first Group F team to lose at home, and that's what did it. The first team that was going to lose at home was not going to advance, and that's how it is right now. Group F, we know who's advancing, and it will be Maccabi and Real Madrid. So congratulations, Real, today on a huge win. Big game from Jorge Garbajosa with 16 points and 11 rebounds. And the other team that will be advancing out of the tough Group F is Maccabi Electra. They set a record for points in a quarter with 43 in the fourth. Pina Gershon must like that. They ended up scoring 97 on the supposedly staunch defense of Montepaschi. Really, Montepaschi's defense has gone away from the team and more of a one-on-one. And when you're playing Maccabi one-on-one, they have some of the best one-on-one players in the league, especially on the wing. Talking about Allen Anderson and Chuck Eidson. And if you leave Deron Perkins up top without any heavy defense, he's going to kill you. 14 points in 19 minutes for him. 24 points for Allen Anderson as he's looking more and more like he's trying to get onto that all-Euroleague team. No longer streaky as he was early on. Just putting out big numbers every time out now. That's huge for Maccabi. And if he keeps on doing that, they have championship potential. Yes, I said it. I picked them in my Final Four. They've gotten there a little bit differently than I thought they would. But hey, they're here. So bravo, Maccabi. Montepaschi, their season's over. They looked like one of the best teams, especially in group play. They were just incredible. They looked like the only team that could even stick with them was Barcelona. And now they're gone. So that's what we have. Next week, we got Partizan and Marusi fighting for our last spot in Group E. And in Group H, it's going to be Caja and BC Khimki going at it. I'll be sure to do maybe another podcast. It's been a while since I've gotten on the mic and done a podcast. Maybe I'll do one of those previewing the final week. The next time I see y'all, I will be in Europe. So I can't wait to join you. Thank you so much for making this trip even possible. And what more can I say, really? It's Euroleague basketball. Devotion.